Hey guys, welcome back to the Dubs Man Show. Here we've got a very special reading that I thought deserved its own video, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. It is the part of the GLOP section of Sword Art Online, chapter 16.5. You know, that 0.5 makes it very special. So sit back and relax and get ready for this being done all in one take. Because quality is for people who give a shit. When I placed my hands at Asuna's sides, her hips moved slightly forward. I felt a slight resistance, but with a popping sensation, half of my beepus was swallowed up inside of Asuna. Even with just that, Asuna let out a scream as she arched her body to its limit. At the same time, my breath caught, and I felt a numbness spreading from my penis to the rest of my body. Having pushed my entire length into Asuna, I let my desires take over as I continued to penetrate her bit by bit. Asuna continued to scream as she continued to vigorously shake her head while her body shook. Although I briefly wondered if it hurt, I was no longer able to stop my hips from moving as my penis continued to plunge into Asuna's deepest parts with a wet, slapping noise. Woo! Eventually, my penis pushed all the way into the root of Asuna's vagine. While she was the woman whom I knew the best and loved the most, the crazy thought that I was deep inside Ainkrad's top idol at this moment was spinning around in my mind, making me go crazy. I somehow managed to calm my breathing as I put my mouth close to Asuna's ear and said, "It's all inside. Does it hurt?"
"No, so hot I'm gonna melt."
Asuna answered me in a thin, high voice as she shook her head.
"Kirito, so much of you inside me. Nyah."
I also felt like melting from the incredible heat that I was experiencing. My penis, which was tightly gripped by Asuna, was continuously sending heat waves up my back that exploded into fireworks in my fucking head.
Woo! Wow! Wow!
I was aware of Asuna's moans becoming higher and higher as I was immobilized, struggling against the sensations that threatened to overwhelm me. As if in anticipation, her slit also continued to tightly massage me with its convulsions.
No way, I'm, again, ...
Asuna's voice, which sounded as if she was becoming delirious from the heat, was changing into a meltingly sweet sound, and
No, again, I'm coming. Ah!
She threw her bed back. She just picked up her fucking bed and threw it. No, she threw her head back with a jerk and
Nah!
Screaming loudly, Asuna climaxed for the second time. At the same time, my penis was squeezed with an incredible pressure, and to my horror, I felt a raging sense boiling up inside me, seeking release. Exclamation mark. No dialogue, just exclamation mark. All right. I bit my lip and fought against that feeling, supported by the thought that I couldn't relax when we hadn't even reciprocated once. I was somehow able to quell the urge. Panting heavily, I embraced Asuna's body, which was limp from orgasm. I knew I didn't have much time left, so I violently pulled all the way back to the opening of her vagina before pushing in all the way in one fucking thrust. Smack! Our bodily fluids flew about. Ah! Asuna's eyes flew open as she let out a shriek.
"No, if you do that, I'm gonna go crazy." ...
I was once again forced to stop while deep inside of Asuna, the hot, soft sensations surrounding me as the throbbing of the folds penetrated my entire being. Asuna had come several times already, and if we stayed like this, I would eventually end up coming. But I didn't feel like that would be a very good way to finish. Yeah, very considerate. So after thinking for a moment, I gently began shifting my body.
A ...
Question mark. Lifting up a drowsy-looking Asuna's body, I moved underneath. Eventually, the two of us switched positions with me on my back and Asuna in the mounted position to top of me. As soon as Asuna realized what sort of position she was in, her face turned even redder as she shook her head from side to side.
No, this is embarrassing.
Asuna, you try moving.
What? Oh, okay.
Asuna blushed shyly as she nodded and began to gently rock her body.
Oh, I'm sorry that I'm the only one feeling good. Kirito, you can come too.
A sticky sound was coming from the slit that had been pierced by my penis. Asuna's movements were minimal, but the powerfully numbing feeling was spreading through my body again. Right when I thought, at this rate, I'm gonna come right away. Her voice was once again mixed with the sound of arousal. Asuna bit down on the fingers of her right hand as she moved her hips up and down.
Why am I like this? Whoa.
Asuna's long chestnut-colored hair flew into the air every time she shook her head. Beads of sweat also flew about, turning into light before disappearing. Okay, let's get to the good part.
I'm sorry, Kirito. I'm coming.
Asuna threw her body back while drawing out the last part of her sentence as she violently convulsed 2-3 times. Her breasts, which were sticking out in front of her, danced in time with those motions. I was in no position to pause and admire the sight of Asuna with her eyes scrunched closed and her teeth gritted together, looking incredibly cute, yet horribly lewd, all at the same time. As Asuna's vagine gripped my penis tightly, I was once again assaulted with a powerful urge to come. Thinking that I wouldn't be able to resist it this time, I instinctively pushed up into Asuna's core with abandon, reckless fucking abandon. Grabbing her hips with my hands, I shoved my hard penis in as far as I could before pulling out again. Being suddenly assaulted right after coming, all Asuna could do was frantically writhe about. I took her hand, which was extended toward me, and linked our fingers together. Every time I stirred up Asuna's insides, our overflowing juices would fly about as the place of our joining melted in endless heat. That does not sound healthy.
Amazing. SUGOI DESU.
Her bouncing breasts also sent large amounts of sweat flying around. Asuna was letting out deliriously sweet moans with a completely melted look on her face. Ugh.
I'm come.
Yes, let it out. Oh, wait, no. Wrong line.
Yes, let it out, Kirito. Let out, lad.
As I shoved myself into Asuna, I released all of the pent-up sensations that I had stretched to the limits. Asuna! I could feel my hot sperm gushing deep into Asuna as she trembled in yet another climax. 2 years worth of semen made a glopping noise as it flowed endlessly into Asuna. Every time my penis twitched, fireworks would go off in my head. After receiving all that I had to give her, Asuna's strength gave out as she fell on top of me. I gently embraced Asuna while she continued to gasp and convulse as if she was being stimulated by the fluids inside her body as my consciousness dimmed. Hey guys, that was a reading of chapter 16.5 of the Sword Art Online novel. Thank you so much for being around to support the channel. Links to all of that are down in the description. Hope you guys have a great day.